Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Fatimah Azhara binti Manur with metric number 2014478. The subject that this movie covers is reading, where it examines the disorder of reading under the topic of word recognition. Next, I will explain the plot of this movie. Taare Zameen is a story about an 8-year-old child named Ishan Awashti who is always thought to be dumb, lazy, and a troublemaker by his family, teachers, and classmates. Unlike his own brother, Johan, who is very successful in his studies, Ishan always gets many complaints from everyone. Because of this, his father registered him into the New Era boarding school in order to get discipline. However, due to the sudden separation from his family, he faces trauma until he loses his joy in the arts. His performance in school still does not improve. He then gets mocked by every teacher in his new school. After a substitute art teacher named Ram Shankar Nikum came to the school, he noticed Ishan's struggle in learning. Soon, Ram finds out that Ishan is suffering from dyslexia. This difficulty causes him to have a hard time recognizing letters. Ram meets Ishan's family and tells them that he will help Ishan improve his life as he believes that children are all stars on earth. There are 3 settings in this movie, which are in Mumbai, India, where Ishan and his family live, St. Anthony High School, where Ishan and his brother get their education, and lastly, the New Era boarding school, where Ishan gets transferred by his father to get discipline.
My name is Nurashika binti Sohaimi and my metric number is 1915394, and I will be presenting on the issues raised in the movie. The first issue raised in the movie is about the educational system, but not technically a specific school educational system, but the educational system as a whole. Children are centralized to only one center. They are forced to race to the top, and there's only one way to the top. Any different or peculiar path they wanted to go is not tolerable. For example, students are expected to excel all core subjects, but any other subjects such as art, singing, or dancing are not adequate enough to compete in the real world, as in to compete in getting money or job. Second issue on educational system is the way of teaching. Children have active imaginations, but once they go to school, their imaginations are shaped into a set of limitations. The fun of art class has vanished. Besides, students who are yet to perform better in school only have one assumption, which is attitude problems. She is lazy to study hard. Giving her extra attention is not worth it because she is stubborn. They never consider any other factors that could be beyond attitude problems, any other reasons which may lead to the problems. Second issue raised in the movie is about dyslexia. The society are yet to acknowledge dyslexia. They may have heard about it, but not really in depth. Dyslexia often being compared with special needs children that have to go to a different school. But dyslexia does not affect intelligence, because a person with dyslexia have difficulties in learning, not inability to learn. The fact that Ishan have been struggling for over a year, it is clear that his patterns of mistakes are not recognized. Mistakes are only mistakes, nothing more. This situation gives a clear awareness to the society about dyslexia and how vital it is to analyze the mistakes made by children in order to find the accurate solutions. Third issue is about the society perceptions on children's behavior. Children are behaving either good or bad. There is no other factors beyond that behavior. Hence, this is why most parents are not listening to their children's problems, let alone to even ask the questions of why. Society perceptions on teaching children to correct their behavior is to compare them to other siblings or children in hoping they can do better. But in cases like Ishan, his problems are not even recognized. Therefore, he could not have a chance to make his brother as a model, because he has different abilities.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Sarija binti Rai, metric number 1917116. Today I will continue on the evidence based on the textbook, which covered chapter 7 and 8, reading and learning to read and spell. Chapter 7 and 8 had explained on the character of Ishan basically, or the movie entirely. The brain and behavior are intertwined. This gets us to the main reason for Ishan's reaction or behavior. First of all, a lesson is believed to have occurred to Ishan because his teacher, Mr. Nikam, stated in the film that there was a problem with Ishan's brain, causing him to be unable to do things that a normal child could easily do. Lesson is a damage in the brain, which we had learned in language and the brain topic. Mr. Nikam also stated that Ishan is dyslexic, something I believe was not adequately explained in the film. For the record, dyslexia is a verbal processing problem in which reading and spelling performance is significantly below what would be expected based on age and intellectual capacity. After doing some research, I feel Ishan is also suffering from dysgraphia, a writing condition. However, according to Harley, dysgraphia and dyslexia frequently occur simultaneously in natural developmental dyslexia. Therefore, the scene or the film strongly supports the premise that dysgraphia and dyslexia coexist. In Chapter 7, Section C, word recognition, it's stated that the patients with dyslexia cannot spell and have hardship on writing the same words. In the movie Minute 1:41:27, Mr. Nikam told Ishan's parents that he has trouble in recognizing words, hence he cannot read as he cannot imagine the words, and as a result, he didn't grasp what was being said, making it difficult for him to recognize what the word was about. I believe Ishan has difficulties with magnocellular system, which cause problems with eye control and fixation, creating the impression that the letters are moving out the page. When asked to read the sentences, Ishan mumbles crazy words because he cannot read them as the letters appear to be dancing, he said. Nevertheless, Harley opinionated those dyslexic children are often thought as clumsier than their average ages, even though the idea is still unclear and some of them have impaired visual. However, they contradict what the film has depicted. Ishan is mainly or plainly clumsier, as he cannot even tie his own shoe or tie his necktie. He is unable to concentrate on multiple tasks at the same time. It demonstrates that the clumsiness did occur in a dyslexic child. Furthermore, the scene in which he memorized his way back to school and painted the picture that he saw while on the road demonstrated that the movie does not use the notion of defective visual memory. Apart from this, Ishan is an ESL, so I think with this disorder, it might be hard on him to learn all those things when he cannot focus on two or more things in one time. People with developmental dyslexia can improve their reading skills by enhancing their phonological awareness as early as feasible. This is according to Snowling in 1987. What can we learn from the movie is in this regard is Mr. Nikam's quick response when he discovered Ishan has dyslexia. He assisted him with the alphabets, related words, and math, among other things. As a result of his guidance, Ishan has improved, and he can read, spell, write, and count. Grammar isn't only about words, it can also be about numbers. To conclude, this movie has its peak on the psycholinguistic field, and it's important to know about the impairment of languages, especially among kids.